make no mistakes, cause he's perfect. Every step I take for his service. So every day I'm living according to his purpose.
I'm Marie Nelson. This is According to His Purpose, and I'm here with my second guest, Minister Anthony Jones. You know, I'm terrible on names.
You and me both.
But anyway, thank you for joining me right here on According to His Purpose. And you've got some story. You got it. So we want to hear about it. You started your ministry in what way? In what respect?
Oh,
in
my.
church or?
Well, you know, I'm just going to tell you that I'm the crybaby of the family.
Okay.
So that's coming up. But anyway, in 1991, my ministry started, and I didn't even know it was going to start. So a lot of people get arrested, they go to jail, they go to prison. I got rescued from myself. I got rescued from myself by being placed in handcuffs, being dragged away, facing my demise, and I was sentenced to 20 years in prison, 20 to 30 years in prison,
Goodness.
and I did the 20 years. But in 1992,
You did 20 years in prison?
yes, I did 20 years in prison. Yeah, from 1991 to 2011.
Oh my God.
And in 1992, I was walking around the prison yard aimlessly, and a young man that I'm still acquainted with today, who was also incarcerated, pulled me to the side and said, "You don't need to be doing this. You don't need to be doing that. You're coming over here with us, and you're going to get into the Word of God."
Oh.
And it took off from there. A few months later, literally a few months later, I was asked by the same people to help them teach the Word of God on the prison yard.
Okay.
That's where my ministry
That's
started.
when you started.
So yeah, about 33 years ago, this ministry started, and I kept hearing my grandmother's voice. My grandmother, I kept hearing my grandmother's voice. She would tell me, "Don't go in there and lay down. Don't go in there and lay down." So when they would send me money to, buy TVs and all these other creature comforts that prisoners have, I would use them to purchase study books
Yes.
that accompanied the Bible, so I could understand what I was reading.
Right.
And God used that. He's still using it today, because when I was reading, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
But speeding things up, or should I say, let's back things up. Prior to being arrested, I was smoking crack cocaine out of a pipe, probably about $300 something every day. Just smoking and smoking and smoking. That's why I say I got rescued.
Yes.
I got rescued from myself. And when that happened, God just started catapulting me into the things that He wanted me to do. And while I was in there, I started working on my education.
Okay.
And I wasn't getting anywhere because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I got into...
How old were you?
I was 32 years old at the time.
With the arrest, you were 32.
I was 32
Okay.
years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 32 years old. I left a beautiful 6-year-old daughter on the street, who we all know. But I left her on the street, and what gave me my determination and the fortitude that I needed not to ever even entertain the thought of going back that way was when she wrote me a letter, and she gave me some hard things to think about. But the one thing that she said to me was that you abandoned me. You were selfish and you abandoned me. And that hit me right in my heart. And I didn't hear from her again for probably about 4, maybe 6 years. She was serious about what she said.
Oh, yeah. Because you did do that.
That's right.
I mean, that's something that you had to come to grips with.
And that's
did
when I
this.
did. And that's when
Okay.
I did. When she wrote the letter, I realized the impact.
Okay.
It was more than just I got locked away
Mm-hmm.
and wasn't be able to be free and be with my family.
Right.
I abandoned my family. I abandoned the people that cared about me. And so I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, I got out. I finished my education. Well, I'm how should I say? I progressed to a point in my education
Yeah,
now
absolutely.
where I got my bachelor's, I got my master's,
Oh wow.
and yeah,
That is one. That's awesome.
it was a lot
That's
of work.
awesome because that is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and you know, I had to pay for it out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So that's what took so long for it to happen. Because it took me from about 2007 to 2017 to accomplish that. But it's accomplished, and now I'm progressing in the field of divinity.
Okay.
Theology and divinity.
Right.
So
Right.
that's why today, as you heard when we were talking, I met my wife on my other job, Crime Stoppers. So
Oh.
we met on Crime
really?
Stoppers due to the death of her son.
Right.
And at that time, I was still working on the master's degree and everything. And I finally got away from that to what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Got into, you know, my craft, what God wants me to do.
Yes.
And that's to bring hope to people. That's a big thing.
Yes, it
Bringing
is.
hope to people. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's easy to me because God.
Because
has-
you've been there.
Yeah,
You've walked that walk.
and it's not easy. It's not easy. People need somebody to listen to them
Yes.
so that they can hear themselves and come up with their own solution.
Right.
And that's the way I choose to approach the people that I deal with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, right in here now, and I know that you're doing your ministry. Where you mentioned Crime Stoppers, but you've moved past Crime Stoppers and you're with another organization.
Yeah, I'm with another organization. We call it's like home hospice. So
Oh.
we don't work in a facility. We
Okay.
go from facility to facility. Sometimes a person's home that is under hospice care. And as I'm a part of a team.
Okay.
So that team has the doctors, the nurses, the wound specialists. They have the social workers for
Yeah.
them. They even have massage therapists for them, music therapists for them, and then the chaplain who comes in and deals with their emotional and spiritual. needs.
So that's what you do.
That's
you
what I
you
do.
You're a chaplain.
Yes.
Now, when you are becoming a chaplain, because I talked to my brother today, and my nephew, who also is a minister, was asked to be a chaplain at Olivet College.
Okay.
So he went through his application. So now I'm sure, like I told my brother, I'm saying that there's a certain amount of training.
There is.
And so I was right.
There is.
Okay.
There is.
So now tell our viewers what steps you had to go through to
Okay.
get to be a chaplain.
Okay, so just to make it clear,
Mm-hmm.
there are different types of chaplains.
Oh.
So
Okay.
when you have some chaplains that are with our public schools, you have some chaplains that are with our police department,
Oh, okay.
with our
got it.
fire department,
Yeah, oh,
and different things
yeah.
like that.
Right.
And a majority of them, excuse me, a majority of them are volunteers. Some of them may get a stipend
Okay.
to do what they do.
Yes.
But then when you get into the healthcare system, it's more regimented, it's more regulated. There are chaplain associations, 3 or 4 different chaplain associations
Okay.
that give you your credentials.
Mm-hmm.
So after obtaining the master's degree, I had to go through a chaplain program that took me about a year and a half to go
wow.
through that. It's very extensive,
Yeah.
and the most difficult part about it all was that you think you're entering into something that you're accustomed to, like church, and it's not about church; it's about you. So,
Okay.
so these programs help you to free yourself from yourself. All you do is talk about yourself, so that you understand who you are and the triggers that you have. So when you are in the presence of somebody who's facing death, somebody that's sick, you know, or some families that are bringing their family dynamics into the room, you don't get triggered and choose sides or become disgruntled or angry at a person because they are who they are. Your training helps you to help the people without considering yourself.
I never, you know what? I never in my wildest dreams even looked at hospice care or a chaplain who deals with hospice care. I would have never dreamed that because I know my dad was in hospice care, and I know that the nurses or the attendants were very careful,
Of course.
about the things that they said around us about my dad, or just really kind of walking on eggshells. And I was like, this is pretty different.
It is.
Judging from what you're saying, it's very extensive.
It is very extensive, and it's per case. For example, I've had patients that they are on hospice care,
Yes.
but we are instructed not to use the word hospice in front of them. So we say that we're here for your comfort,
Okay.
comfort care.
Comfort
You
care.
know, so everybody's sensitive to their needs.
That's
and
right.
we have to. Should I say, we have to be sensitive to their needs
Right.
and things like that. But prior to hospice care, I started in the hospital, being a chaplain. Which
Okay.
is slightly different because you deal with a whole gamut of people. Some people that are going to be there for 2 days, some people are going to be there for 2 hours, some people are there long term.
Oh yeah.
And you have to know how to treat the people and hear what they're not saying. That's the big part of what we do. We hear what the people are not saying so that we can help them. This is what I like to share with doctors because I'm just going to say it, they don't listen.
Yeah.
They just want you to hear what they have to say and
Right.
leave the room, go to the next
There
person.
you go.
But this is something that I share with doctors. You have to hear what the people are saying because if there's an underlying issue going on with them, they're not going to receive the treatment that they're
Yeah.
getting and be healed.
That's true.
So we had a woman who she fell out at home. They got her to the hospital. 2-3 days, nothing's working. Nothing's working. And it wasn't me, but another chaplain started talking to her and found out that she wanted to know what happened to her dog. Because they whisked her away.
Yeah.
Now she lived alone, so where's the dog?
Right.
And they went in the file. They called her sister
Okay.
to find out that her sister locked the place up and took the dog home with her.
With her.
The next day, she was all better.
She was
And
better.
the day after that, she went home.
Well, how do you reach a person who is in hospice now? I mean, the doctors are saying, it could be next month, could be next week. They're not hopeful.
That's true.
What do you do? What do you say to not only that particular individual, but to family members to give them hope just because this is what it looks like? God has the last word.
That's the truth.
So how,
That's the
without stepping on toes, because people don't want to,
Again, I don't
Okay.
take a direct approach to that.
Okay. Gotcha.
What I do is I talk to the person and their family,
Okay.
who's ever available, about their life.
Okay.
And things about their life come up where they were without hope.
Yeah.
Things come up about their life where they had a hard time. And then we talk about how they made it through that.
Okay.
And we transfer that thought to the current issue
Okay.
that they're facing. So
Okay.
then again, they begin to hope in God.
Okay.
They begin to be strengthened in the area of hope and faith. And some people, it's hard.
Yeah.
Some people, it's easy for them to reach that level.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the best way, in my opinion, to do that, is to allow them to talk about themselves, so they
Okay.
can talk about their struggles leading up to this, their struggles that they didn't think that they would conquer or make it through.
Yeah.
And when that happens, they begin to have hope, and in their opinion, without your help.
Okay.
But like I said, it's all about what they are not saying that matters, to help them accomplish what they accomplish.
Well, Minister Jones, you have had an incredible life. God has been, He's been so good to you.
Very good.
Okay?
Very good.
To take you from here to here. I mean, when I listen to the word and the stories inside those pages, your story can fit right in to a Joseph.
Yes.
I mean, I could just go on, even though I know I need to study more. Jonah, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, what you've been through fits right in there. And so it takes courage. It takes faith.
It does.
It takes trust and believing that God, and only God, is going to bring me through.
That's right.
Were you at that place? Did you, even with the handcuffs and the closing the cell doors and all what you go through in that environment,
So I'll tell you.
did you think that?
So I'll tell you. Didn't get a chance to think that. I just knew I was in trouble. And I won't lie to you, I was sitting like this, tears splashing off the floor,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
And for the first time, for the second time, I heard the voice of God. It came from within. There was no big boom and thunder and none of that, but it came from within, and I heard the voice of God, and He said, "Now that I have your attention, will you listen?" And that's where my journey started. That's where my journey started.
It's just, I'm overwhelmed. That's why, according to His purpose, when you hear those words, it's so powerful.
It is.
It's powerful. And that's what this show is about. It's about bringing on guests who have lived through a very difficult time and came out like the three in the furnace. Don't get me. Now here I go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Come on.
So,
That preacher coming out.
that preacher is, because, my daddy was a preacher,
You are
But
too.
what I'm saying is, when I listen to the impactful stories, and then you don't look like what you've been through, it just blows my mind, okay? But I'm so happy to have had you on According to His Purpose, and I know that our viewers are sitting back saying, wow, I gotta keep tuning in. I don't know who's gonna be her next guest, but this right here has impacted me. Did it impact you? I bet it did. So I want you to continue to watch According to His Purpose.
Yes, please.
Like, subscribe, hit that notification, but because you don't want to miss no impact. No, nothing, no content. You want to be tuned in, I assure you.
Yes.
So thank you so much. God bless you,
God bless
like
you.
He's always been doing,
That's what He does. That's what He does.
and carry on the good work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me. I'm Marie Nelson. According to His Purpose is this show. Tell a friend.
According to His Purpose is sponsored by Mint Pink Cosmetics and Spa. Be sure to subscribe, like, and click the notification button so you'll never miss out on the up and coming inspirational content. Thanks for watching.